Hey there, welcome to Something About Tabletop. Today we're going to be doing a vodcast about how to build the archetype of a mage and how they fit into the Shadowrun world. Today I will be leading Bluey. With me I've got...
Master Blah.
I can't believe you forgot my name.
I'm letting you say it, man. I'm not saying it.
Who's this? This is a random hobo that we picked off the street.
Yeah, it's a random hobo. Who is he?
Alright, man. I've listened to you guys before. You guys paid me $5 and said to talk about mages.
Of course, it's the random hobo. Alright, so I'll just start with a bit of an intro about how magic in general is like in Shadowrun. It's quite an interesting flair to this whole futuristic kind of world. It definitely is my favourite kind of type of magic I've ever encountered in a role-playing system or in a world at all. Basically, you have your mana, which is your life essence, alright? So like, if you're a cyber zombie, your mana is seen as basically nil. In fact, it's so low that you disrupt mana around you.
You're a hole.
Yeah, you're a whole... But yeah, the people who have high enough life force are able to channel it and use it to manipulate the world around them in different ways, and they can do this via the astral plane or the physical plane. Now, does anyone want to give a bit of background on the astral plane, or shall I?
Shit's fucked, yo.
I'll do it.
Yeah, go for it. You go for the astral plane.
Alright, so look, I'm actually looking at the astral right now. So basically, the astral plane is another realm that is dual-layered onto this one. It's similar to D&D, but mages and magical creatures are either dual-natured or can travel to the astral plane. Like, say, if we're talking about astral projection, which is something all magicians can do, not all mages.
Not adults.
Basically, they go into the physical world as a spirit. No. Into the astral world as a spirit, and they fly around and stuff like that. But I think we'll talk about the crunch later, at least, to do with the astral plane.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super interesting and very abstract as well, and people interpret it differently, but ultimately the rules are all the same.
Yeah, so like mages can cover... There's different archetypes of mages again, so we'll call them sub-archetypes, I guess. And I mean, do you want to cover a couple of those, Hobo? I mean, I know that you don't play mages very often, but you do have...
Combat mage, the utility mage.
Yeah. Utility, I mean, they're pretty much...
Like, honestly, that you just have the really... It's like with Street Sams, you generally have the two major archetypes of... are you more attack-orientated? If so, then you're the combat mage. Are you more utility-orientated? Then you're the utility mage.
Yeah, but then you can get street shamans and stuff as well, yeah.
Then there's everything in between, with the third one, the third big one being summoners.
Yeah, summoners, which are quite completely different to a lot of mages and how they're played a lot of the time.
Well, your new favourite one, alchemists.
Oh yeah, no, my new favourite is kind of a hybrid between an alchemist and a combat mage. So he enchants his projectile weapons, which further do magic damage after they've just been thrown into you.
Yeah, check him out. He's in these videos.
I'm not editing that.
Yeah,
I'm editing this, okay?
Yeah. Get my back!
Just annotations, it's not hard.
Alright, sorry, my shoulders are so sore from carrying.
I guess we'll just get into the stuff that you guys have been asking for, and more how to think about how to make your mage if you're interested in playing one. So, some suggested priorities. I mean, the strongest mage that you can probably make at the character creation. It's not the best, but it's the one that you'll be rolling the most dice with. That is an elf mage, because you can go a shamanic tradition. That means that you resist something known as drain, which is what hurts you when you cast spells. The traditions allow you to choose, will vary in stats, and for the shamanic one, you use your charisma with willpower, and with an elf, you get 8 charisma.
Or can.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, you get base 3, maximum 8.
Yeah. And of course, it's something I've been finding recently when I've stopped min-maxing. You don't need to take magic at 5, but I like to. Now, magic at 5, because then in character creation, if you choose maybe a human, like
Sorry.
You use your special stat to up it by 1.
When I do mages, I actually usually don't take magic at A. I take it low and then up it with edge. Edge points. Yeah, it works really well. That's how troll mages can actually work. Yeah. If you take troll at A, you get like 5 or 6 points.
Yep.
And you dump it in magic. It works well.
Troll adepts work better in my opinion.
Yeah, troll adepts.
Much better. They're not. These aren't necessarily like powerful characters, but they're flavorful and they're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're doing A, B, C, D, and E, I suggest A in attributes. Oh, this is how I build mine at least, because I don't build elf mages much anymore. I build human mages because you dumping money is very painful.
Breeders represent.
Yeah, so I go B in attributes, A in magic, C in skills, D in money, and E in humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're going elf, you just swap money with elf.
Yeah, you swap the D at elf and E with money, and that's...
And never handle having no money, by the way. I do this with all my characters. I take the money at E. Put 10 karma and buy $20,000. I do that every single time.
Welcome to being a mage or an adept. Welcome to being poor as fuck.
Technomancer as well.
It's not fun.
Welcome to being something that isn't a street Sam or a decker. You poor as fuck.
But what I like doing nowadays is with the sum to 10 system, I choose the priorities B, B, C, C, and E. E is select human, but you have so much money because of C. Skills at C again, and then magic at B and attributes at B.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, so with, you can get something like 140,000 at B, I think.
140,000, 150.
Yeah, so you can buy yourself some Foki, which we'll cover later on. It's really good.
I prefer building a stronger base myself. I like having a lot more base stats and a lot more base skills rather than getting Foki myself. That's just how I like it. Because
B attributes is fine.
Well, I just look at stuff like equivalently of like how much karma, everything, like, which is why I don't feel like boosting money up sometimes is worth it, because money is one of the, like, New Yen's one of the easier things to get versus getting the karma and the time to train those attributes and stats up. That's how I kind of look at it. Yeah. What's easiest to get, and honestly, money is just the easiest thing to get on bulk.
Yeah, but like, you're limited to get it. You're limited with the karma because you only can spend 10 karma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you take in debt, which is a very scary thing to take, but you get a lot of money out of that.
Yeah, well, basically, the whole consensus is you want magic at least at A or B.
Yes.
So you can take it lower, but if you want to be a magician...
you can take it lower if you're a human at a higher thing, but usually you like to keep human at lower.
Don't be an aspected mage. Mystic Adept or Magician is good. The reason is you don't get free spells with Aspected Magician. If you're doing a Summoner, I think it's the only build that you can do with Aspected Magician. The only build.
Yeah.
That's the only build you could. You can't do it with Alchemist because you have to spend 5 karma per spell. You can't do it as a spellcaster because you have to spend 5 karma per spell.
Weren't we talking about to build a Troll Mage, you probably have to do it as an Aspected Magician as well, because you want some kind of...
you can take C Magic, makes you be a Magician.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're dumping money anyway, so your money's in your ace slot.
Money being...
Yeah, so that's kind of the priorities you should follow. But then we look at things like I guess...
What are the important stats?
Yeah, important stats. Willpower, definitely, because no matter what tradition you follow, willpower is always going to be part of the drain.
Part of your drain code.
Yeah, and then depending on what tradition you take, I can't remember all of them, but there's things like
basic logic, intuition, and charisma traditions. That's how I say it.
Well, basically every single mental attribute has an equivalent path or tradition, essentially.
Yeah. Like, I do enjoy the flavour of shamanic because they're your traditional kind of witch doctor kind of people.
Well, actually, voodoo. There's a specific one for
There's voodoo, but I always see shamanic people as still witch doctor type people anyway.
I see shamanic more as the old style ones, like of druids.
Yeah.
Like, there isn't actually a druid tradition, which is intuition. But I still see shamanic as more of the.
I guess when I started playing, they didn't have all of those. So
there's a lot of new ones now because of a lot of the books like Shadow Magic and stuff like that.
Shamans, I think now are more like people who respect animal spirits.
I see them more as traditional sort of like pagan magicians.
Yeah.
Rather than like, because druids are very specific sort of nature based one, whereas I see pagan stuff as more of the shamanic sort of tradition or more close to the Cherokee kind of shaman.
Yeah, Cherokee shaman. Yeah.
Which is what I'm playing in my current.
Yeah.
Then you've got so that's your charisma, one of your charisma casters. Then you've got the logic casters, which Hermetic.
Hermetic is the most common one.
I think that's one of your personal favorites, isn't it?
Logic. Yeah, I don't know. It just depends. Not many people play the Hermetic Mage because
I used to, but
yeah.
I've actually seen it used occasionally because I've seen really weird builds with humans that buy like cheap decks and then they're Hermetic, and the Hermetic tradition, so they have good logic and then they just cast like Analyze device in their deck to boost the limits
I
and
mean,
the dice you roll with it.
These aren't traditional archetypes, so these are people being crazy.
I know some crazy people. I make some crazy
Well, with
builds.
gnome being a thing now, you can definitely make a decent gnome hermetic mage.
Yeah. But the most standard traditions you're gonna see are usually Christian, because that's a good charisma roll, charisma one.
And it makes sense with a lot of characters.
Yeah, black magic is the other side of the coin for that one. You see, because that's also one of the charisma. You see a lot of charisma mages, even if they're not elves.
Charisma is just because you can make people start like becoming a sub face as well.
Yeah, face magicians you get seen a lot.
Subface is the easiest to do. It doesn't require any money to be good at it.
Yeah, and for the most part, I usually see like the two main ones I tend to see are charisma or intuition based traditions.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of people taking like logic. I mean, there are a couple of hermetic people, but for the most part, I tend to find that people tend to prefer using things that are associated with other skills they'll be using more.
Yeah, I'll just give a bit of a background kind of knowledge on hermetic mages. They're like the scholars, the people that study magic, and it's a natural phenomenon that uses physics and it's a science. It's exactly that. It's how they treat it. So they're pretty flavorful in that.
Chaos magic forever.
Chaos magic.
That's the intuition mages.
Yeah, there's a psionics and stuff.
That's basically take what works and use it.
Yeah, so
Chaos mages can't teach each other very well because of that.
Right.
Intuition is feeling and using magic intuitively. Charisma magic is praying to something or asking something. Like, basically, charisma magic is always... it's usually to do with praying or force of will, something to happen. Force of personality.
Yeah.
And logic is working shit out.
Yep.
Using hand movements, like
incantations.
Maths. Like, I'm pretty sure I remember reading on hermetic maths in Street Grimoire. They literally use maths and like shit like that. Like,
oh wow.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They use hardcore maths and shit in their spells.
Magic. It's hardcore math. Get your ass learned.
But then there's the psionics, which are intuition, of course, which you said. They believe that the magic is them causing it. The magic comes from them. It's not the world around them.
They're not completely wrong.
I know that. There's a half truth to it, but
because they are actually
using their life essence.
It's the thing. They are technically like, because all these other traditions tend to believe.
But I mean,
that,
isn't that the world we live in today? People believe
pretty
one
much.
Thing and So it's a depiction of what real life is.
I think we talked enough about the traditions themselves.
Well, we'll talk about stats, I think, but I think they would squeeze that in there too.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's hard not to, because that's what they.
I wouldn't know. Well, the reason why I bring this traditions up is if you're going psionic, then you're going to have high intuition, and that means you can make a good detection mage.
Whatever your tradition stat is, that's the highest in my opinion.
Yeah.
Willpower second, and then whatever you want. If you want to be a combat mage, put your body a little higher, and your reaction a little higher, and your intuition a little higher if you're not an intuition mage.
Yeah.
If you just want to be the ultimate magician, and you're going to be going a little bit face, dump your strength. And make sure your character's really good in charisma.
Who needs damn physical stats?
Strength is one you can dump.
Mages dump strength all the time.
I don't suggest dumping body. I say
maybe
minimum 3. I always keep it at minimum 3.
Yeah, minimum 3 for every character.
I can dump. Depending on the mage, I will dump charisma as well. Depending on the mage, of course.
I mean, if you're an intuition or logic caster,
you don't need charisma at all.
Yeah. Reaction. I mean, you're gonna have low. You will always have low initiative.
You want.
I like to keep it high. I like to keep my intuition reaction fairly high.
Intuition.
It's my last resort dump stat.
Oh yeah.
It's my last resort dump stat.
Yeah. In terms of priority, it's essentially your main casting stat, willpower, intuition. Regardless, because intuition's just a fantastic. Intuition, I still maintain, is more important than reaction.
Oh yeah, you can.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. And you can always dump logic as well if you're not hermetic, etc. All that stuff.
Playing a stupid mage is always pretty interesting.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny.
So someone should play a dimmer bulb mage. It's so fun.
Uneducated dimmer bulb. Yeah.
No magic. That's very insulting. I shouldn't be doing that. Sorry, guys. All right. I guess we kind of talk about race and priorities.
Yeah, we've done stats, race, and priorities. I mean,
we can talk a little bit more on race because we didn't touch.
Yeah, if you go into the cover, you can.
Orc shamans.
Orc shamans?
Yeah, for combat shamans.
Yeah, they work really well because they already come stock standard with good body and good strength.
So you don't need to attribute to that high, so you can dump it a bit.
Actually, with troll shamans, you can actually get away with having attributes in the D slot because you have amazing body and strength already. And you only need to really boost up, your agility can be crap. You just need to get your willpower and your main casting stat up.
Yeah.
which is usually intuition because you have terrible logic
Yeah.
and terrible charisma because you're troll.
But
Next. Yeah.
So,
I think that's it in terms of creating a mage, apart from all the spells.
I know. I think we should cover maybe skills that are.
Oh, skills, duh!
Yeah, like spellcasting skill. Depending on the type of mage, which a lot of mages are normally spellcasters, keep it at your freaking highest and specialize.
I just have one thing to add before we do go up because we always ignore them because we never play them. But
What?
Dwarves.
Oh yeah,
It's because
that's the thing. I had
the
to
dwarves make good mages though.
I know.
The system has shat on them though.
Some to 10 they work.
Oh, yeah, some to 10. I haven't built them.
Some to 10 they work.
Elaborate on me. Come on, do it.
Well, because you can take them at C, you can just not have a few A's, and because they get bonus willpower, boom.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing. Like we may not necessarily like. I just wanted to talk about or discuss the idea of playing dwarves as mages because while we don't do it, doesn't mean people don't want to know where dwarves fit into our.
It's sad because
Spectrum.
It's just as good as an orc mage, really.
yeah, Shadowrun has shat on the dwarf really, like because they're for what they are stat wise, they're too high on the priority table to normally take if you use the normal character creation system.
I feel like they would get a lot more play if they were at D, even if you made them a little bit.
They'd have to make them weaker.
They would, but I still think they'd see a lot more play even if they were slightly weaker, just being on the
They
D
should just
table.
debuff their strength a bit. 3-8 is a little bit too high, but
Yeah, I think like just having that a little bit of extra willpower and a little bit extra strength and putting them at D would definitely make them see a lot more play.
if they went 2-7 strength, 2-7 body, 2-7 willpower, 1-5 reaction, that seems fine at D.
Yeah, I'd play that.
Yeah, so we'll just wrap up on that though because that's not.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No,
That's fine. It's fine.
How to fix dwarves with magic archetypes.
Yeah.
How to fix dwarves?
Catalyst.
10.
Catalyst.
Hire
People
us.
watch us. Yeah. No, maybe not hire us yet.
Like 100 or something.
Yeah.
So it's 100 people with 100 books sold.
Yeah,
you know?
all of you 200 people out there, we're at 200 as you would have seen our earlier video.
Remember, invest in Coke.
Yeah, so we'll talk about skills. So spellcasting and specializing is a very good idea because it's good to specialize in an area. Like you focus your mage. I'm a detection mage. Specialize in detection, please.
I want to talk about the most important thing that people forget sometimes.
Which is
when you're looking in the astral or you're projecting, it's not perception, it's the sensing.
yeah, it's a sensing.
Yeah, I see people do this.
And you don't use your magic, you use your intuition.
A sensing is a skill people miss all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
so
said.
useful.
It's very important. You basically can't function as a mage without it because you literally can't tell what spirits are.
Yeah,
Or spells.
Yeah.
People.
We'll I think we can describe what the astral plane's like a bit after we've done our skills.
We've got an astral section, I think.
Yeah, no. Just before we hit spells, we'll talk about astral. So we'll cover sensing and that. Banishing and counterspell so useful.
No.
Banishing, no counterspelling this.
If you get a big spirit out,
No.
bullets don't hurt that very well sometimes.
That's true. They're Force 12 ones though.
Yeah, no. If you face big spirits, fuck your bullets.
No, it doesn't. That's the thing though. Like using your magic is better.
Oh no.
You're a mage. Using your spell is better.
What if you don't have any direct?
Then you've made a poor decision.
No,
in
some
life.
mages.
I know that there are some mages, but
Yeah, you might make your mage. I use all indirect spells. We'll talk about that after. Which
the issue
I
is
get banishing instead.
I put it this way: you spend the 5 karma to get the 1 spell so that you can effectively fight them, or you spend 6 ranks in banishing because banishing is like counterspell in the sense that you're either all in or you're not in at all.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can.
Banishing, I believe, it's like binding, only worse.
I know, it's like binding. That's the
I
problem.
like to get banished no matter what.
You take a lot of damage, and it doesn't tend to work out a lot of the time. It's just I believe, more effective to just try and kill the spirit with magic.
Mm.
And again, at only 5 karma for a spell, it's more effective than going 6. I'm using 6 ranks to get banishing.
Because the thing is, the spirit will be like resisting its willpower with a direct spell, and if it's a force 12.
Yeah, but it resists with its force of banishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, I guess.
Technically, it is. I mean, really, it just depends on the situation.
I like banishing.
Counterspelling, you just should take anyway.
You need
Counterspelling is
counterspelling.
amazing.
There's this useful thing that a lot of players don't know with playing mages, which I do in some of our videos. You can drop your initiative by 5 and then instantly counterspell another mage's.
Yeah, you don't even take drain.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't take drain.
No.
Yeah.
No, you just,
I love that.
You just go boom, boom,
Screw you.
No, I think it's
No
it's
fun.
You get net hits, you reverse. No, not even net hits, is it?
You basically reduce their hits by your hits.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. So like on that's where like on spells that you have to aim, it can really screw them up because you may not counterspell their spell. You get 4 hits, they get 5, but now they have 1 hits to hit, and the other person can easily dodge that.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's very good. Not to mention, it wouldn't it wouldn't lower the radius of a spell.
No,
No.
it doesn't. No, but if you get more hits and they got hits, the spell doesn't work.
Yeah, it fizzles.
Yeah, it just fizzles. And,
Welcome to counterspell.
and then of course there's the optional magical skills like alchemy, artificing,
Ritual spellcasting.
ritual spellcasting. I've never met a character that does that.
You need multiple mages.
Yeah, you need a party of mages.
I have watched ritual summoning before,
Yeah.
but I have never seen people do ritual spellcasting because it's very niche.
Yeah, it's very situational, which a lot of magical things are, just
Yeah.
situational, and you'll probably only use it one session. You're like, well,
Also, ritual ritual summoning, really crazy.
oh yeah, you can do some extremely powerful stuff.
It's
I'm
like
actually reading it now, but
Yeah, well, I'll talk and you can get a bit of a background knowledge on it while Hobo and I keep
Yeah.
talking.
yeah.
And then, of course, summoning if you're playing a shaman.
But not even if you're playing a shaman, summoning is just really good in general.
You can. I wanted a small little spirit to just do a kind of recon mission for me, you know. and
It's
stuff
like
like that.
spirit. There are so many different spirits, and they all have so many different uses. And the fact is that like your combat spirit can get a spell from you as well,
Yeah.
so that you can double your firepower.
I
'cause-
haven't had much experience with it because I just dump all of my stuff into specializing in spellcasting.
Yeah, we
and stuff
don't
like that.
tend to. Actually, it's really funny. In my home games and what we do here, we never really use spirits.
No.
We don't actually spirit, but everyone I played with online, every single mage uses spirits because spirits just work so well.
Spirits are incredibly powerful if you know how to use them. You can make incredibly powerful mystic adepts who you let spirits possess their body, which bump all their stats up.
Oh, it's so funny.
And they're very powerful. Like, if you want to make a powerful character, definitely look into spirits.
Yeah, spirits are just very good as well because spirits get hardened armor. And
Yes, hardened armor.
do you want to explain what hardened armor
I'm
is?
not too sure on the rules exactly. You go for it.
Actually, I don't even remember correctly. But
Go for it.
basically, if your AP does not exceed their hardened armor rating, which is their force,
yeah.
they get an automatic number of hits equal to their rating.
So they get like
6 hits if they're force hit,
Yeah.
and they still get to roll their body as well.
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Why do you think I don't want people taking military armor?
Because-
I've got hardened armor 20.
Yeah.
Dong.
Unless they're
That
jumping.
tank shell, by the way.
Obviously though, if they didn't totally beat it, so say if you did an AP -3 against it, they only get 3 hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No.
whatever their armor is.
You negate the hardened armor before you apply damage. I
Yeah,
believe,
yeah.
And that's the thing. But I believe magic bypasses that anyway. Magic doesn't. Magic
Direct spells, yeah.
Direct. Oh no. I believe just magic is unaffected by.
Magical damage, foci gets through hardened armor, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's the thing.
The more you
That's
know.
what I'm saying. Like 5 karma for a spell is all
Okay,
worth it.
I will
then,
agree with you on that. Yeah.
Because like you can just like if you have like say a specialized spell like I don't know just lightning bolt, which is the only common one I know, and you cast it at force 12. It's gonna screw that guy up, and you don't have to worry about hardened armor. Whereas, like, you have to be really concerned about because the thing is, like, even if you manage to banish the thing, you have to worry that it doesn't roll. Because if it's force 12, it's rolling like 24 dice to resist that, isn't it? Or 12?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you have to worry that like it's gonna get a ridiculous amount of hits, and you're gonna have to try and save against that. It's more dangerous than just overcasting one of your normal spells.
Alright, yeah, I'll agree with you on that, guys. Banishing, dump that skill. I'll do that from now on too.
Put it in other things. I mean, you can try it.
If
It's
you're
just,
taking the summoning spell group, it's fine though.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, if you're getting spell,
If you're being a shaman, yeah, sure.
if you're getting group spells,
Yeah.
it's okay.
You might as well, but like if you're getting 5 in summoning, which is actually I've taken summoning group.
Put skills in things like dodge, because mages need that.
There's no dodge skill anymore.
I know, it's gymnastics or whatever.
No, if you're playing it, reason number 5 why being an elf is OP.
Oh yeah, too
pretty to hit.
Too pretty to hit. It's so OP.
It's equality, 3 karma, and then you minus 10 to your initiative, and then suddenly you get your charisma for the rest of the combat.
You're too pretty, and they're like, oh my god, I can't look at him directly in the eyes.
So say if you're an elf and you have, I don't know, 5 reaction, 5 intuition, and 8 charisma, because this is best case scenario, then you roll 18 dice to dodge.
It is funny. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
But then again, if you're an intuition caster, you've already got high intuition, so...
Yeah, it's mostly better on, like, faces than it is on mages, because doing a full defense action when you already... Because, like... Because the full defense is usually based on your willpower, so if you're a mage, your willpower should be 5 anyway, so you should be fine, but if you want to get those little extra dice and you're playing an elf and you have like 8 charisma, you can get 3 extra dice. It's just a little thing. And for 3 karma, it's a steal. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah. So I guess we've covered mainly the skills now.
Yeah, I'm not really sure there are a lot of other skills to really talk about. Spellcasting.
Yeah. I just read Rich with Spellcasting. We should use this more.
It's very powerful.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
You can make a homunculus.
Yeah, no, you can. No, I know.
Yeah, so basically how it works, there's no drain value, by the way. The spell rolls the force time 2 that you're doing.
Yeah.
And you drain against that, which is a lot. It's not net hits that I get. I cast my ritual spellcasting. I'm rolling 10 dice. I get 3 hits. It rolls hits. It gets 2 hits. My spell goes off, but I'm rolling 4 against the drain because he got 2 hits, even though it didn't get net hits. It's the same as summoning. Binding. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. No, ritual spellcasting is cool.
So what kind of stuff can you do with it?
Okay, so you can basically cast spells miles away using material links and spotters. So if I designate a magic person as a spotter, all they have to do is just see a target, and then me and 10 other mages are going to cast a Force 20 fireball.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Also,
I usually like to think of ritual spellcasting
we should
as
play a party of mages next time.
Oh, it's so brutal, man. It'd be so brutal.
What's that, hackers?
And then we just play.
That's gonna be so fun. I want to do that now.
Except one guy is a mystic adept, and all he is just like the ultimate face.
And, he's a mystic adept, and like he's
So
also he's a face and a combat guy, and all the mages are like buff, buff, buff. It's like womp, 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 womp.
It's such an incredible. They each have different ones. It's like, okay, casting increased agility, casting increased reaction.
That would be the best.
And then he just suddenly just bonks up.
Oh my god, this is irrelevant right now, but this is going to be fun. But we could make a video series on this, alright? So,
ritual spellcasting, good if you have people to do it with, otherwise kind of useless.
That's fun, actually.
You
might get fucked up by the drain.
It's dangerous.
I guess we'll talk actually how magic works.
Alright, yeah, we'll talk about the world. Alright, so we've covered the astral plane and how it coexists over our physical world.
Well, it's kind of, it overlays.
It coexists.
It's like a veil.
It literally, you could just swipe your hand and all of a sudden the astral plane's there kind of thing. It's however you want to look at it, and when you're in the astral plane, you can see the physical objects, but they're kind of grey and cloudy, so you can't define stuff.
Everything's grey, cloudy, and kind of formless. It has a form, but it's not as tight as it is.
Yeah, it's just the object that you're aware that's there, but you don't know.
Your vision is essentially foggy, but the thing is, anything that's not made of organic material...
Yeah.
This is just black or grey. You can't see it.
You can pass through things, but if it's organic, it has a life form. You can't do that to life.
Yeah, you can't pass through organic material, and you can't...
I think it's anything to do with mana, because mana barriers work in the same way as well.
Yeah, but you can move through like objects, but for the most part, things that are alive...
Yeah. So you can pass through mana barriers by pushing yourself through.
Forcing your way through,
but you can't do that to organic material.
Yeah, so
and you can sneak through mana barriers.
You can
sneak through...
Magic plus charisma!
Yeah, I know. I'm saying...
I think technically by the rules, because I actually have a lot of friends who do a lot of magic rules and handle it, I believe even if you do that, they're aware of like people passing through. But that's really, that's really on home ruling. That's the reason why flops and stuff exist.
But organic material, and might I add, the entire Earth itself is organic, so you cannot pass through that.
Oh yes. Also, don't fly into space; you'll go crazy.
Yeah, you'll go crazy.
It's a void of mana. Magic doesn't exist in space.
Nah.
Yeah.
Or does it? Because dragons are actually from other planets.
It gets weird.
It gets weird.
Just try and fly close to the ground. Also, you can do this at the speed of thought. You can go anywhere.
That's the best part.
You fly just boom, just at a click of fingers, and you're basically anywhere in your local vicinity.
7,000 meters per second or something.
Yeah, you can like circle the Earth in like close to a minute or something.
Yeah. But the most important thing to remember is that there are wild and feral spirits.
Spirits.
And because you're in their home. Technically, the astral realm is their home.
Yeah, that's for spirits.
And we only bring them into the physical realm
by summoning normally.
Yeah, usually asking them nicely to manifest. But
you can force them.
The most important thing is, don't lose your fucking body.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because when you fall asleep when you astrally project.
Yeah, you just come. If anyone didn't know better, you're just an narcolepsy.
And you can only stay outside of your body for
Magic hours.
Yeah, magic hours. Yeah,
and that means if someone steals your body when you're out, then you have magic hours to find your body again, or you die.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty funny.
Because you don't belong. You don't belong in the astral realm. You can visit there, but you don't belong there.
Yeah.
Nope.
And
much in the same way, spirits have to return.
You can actually perceive forever, though.
Yeah, no, you can perceive. That's because you're looking into
that's
the realm.
That's the thing. You can only interact with things in the astral plane when you're astrally projecting
And perceived.
Yeah, and perceiving. That's what I was going to say.
Because
spirits can also attack you while you're perceiving because you become dual-natured. You exist in the astral plane.
Which is why being a ghoul sucks, or being any dual-natured being sucks. Because if you're a dual-natured being, like a forcibly one, like ghouls, or anyone who's contracted a magical virus, you're permanently seeing both worlds. Yep. And you're permanently a being of both worlds, so you can be attacked by anything of both worlds.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
Which is terrifying, because spirits are terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we don't need to go into all the nitty-gritties. I think we've covered most of the astral.
That's pretty much the general, like, it's the, hey, welcome to the astral, this is how it works, so let's talk about how magic works.
Direct spells are channeled to the astral plane, so they don't affect the physical plane, like, you don't see it, they can't dodge it, it just goes straight to that object or human that you're aiming at.
Yeah. You can't target objects. Direct spells can't target objects.
Exactly that, you can't target non-living things with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a...
and direct... No, indirect, sorry, yeah.
Indirect, big and flashy.
They're the most powerful ones, they're the most fun.
Oh, they're the most area spells. They're good for taking lots of explosions. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, no, like, depending on the elements you use as well, they have slightly elemental effects, how they affect them, so they're pretty cool.
Yeah, but unfortunately ice is, like, you only take ice if you're doing it for character reasons, because ice is actually is worse. Because it usually it's less damage, but it has, like, a secondary effect, but usually the secondary effect isn't that fantastic. Like, makes the ground icy. People could slip.
Oh no.
That's what I mean.
It stops them from moving and locks them in place.
Versus, but it's like, slightly less damage versus I explode everything with fire or I drop an electric ball on people.
Lightning's normally my favourite because when it hits them, it drops their initiative as well.
Drops the initiative by 5 and they take -1 to all their actions. And if it's a vehicle or they have any electronics on them,
it could be fried.
Like their guns, which have smart link, you can fry them.
Yeah, lightning's probably my favourite. It's very powerful.
It's so funny. It also usually has great -AP.
Alright, who wants to do the crunch on a spell? How to cast one? What do you have to think about?
Right, you want to think about...
You're the head mage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Force. Every spell can be up to a force of twice your magic. Well,
yeah, I was just going to say, maybe like, say the code for like how you cast a spell, so like the completed thing and then explain each segment, so then we have a sort of representation of like, when you cast a spell, it you force, and then how the spell's actually done, like a full combination, and then like what force is, what drain is.
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking about force then.
Yeah, no, but I was
move on from there.
Yeah.
I'll put in the video a code up. Let's just use Fireball as an example.
Because I was just like,
or any spell. What spell do you want to use as an example? Because I'll just cut it and just put it in the video. Like
so, is Fireball the area one?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying like because if we say what the full calculation is and then explain what each part of the calculation actually is.
Well, actually, the first thing in the code is range. You need to be in range of that person depending on the spell.
We'll start again. We'll start the whole section again so I can cut out that bit.
Okay. All right. So
Bluey, do you want to teach them how to cast spells?
I sure would, Hobo. What a great suggestion.
I like spells.
I'm going to buy you a magic hat. You're the head wizard.
No, I don't do a lot of the stuff that is entailed in magic.
You're ruining my immersion.
Okay, so the first steps of casting a spell. Look at the range. You can't cast a touch spell if they're over the other side of the room. Unless you walk up to them.
Like we used to think with Minecraft.
What kind of ranges are there, Bluey?
There is touch, there is line of sight, and there is area.
Boom.
Boom.
What is the area on an area spell, Bluey?
It is force meters in radius, should I
That's
say.
very big.
That
Remember
is
that.
huge.
Yeah.
People forget how big
Meters are.
6 meters radius is. It's
Or,
very large.
or like 12 meters radius.
It's gigantic.
It's like 3 or 4 stories.
Oh, yeah. Imagine a force 24 fireball, by the way.
Don't fight dragons, kids.
Yeah.
50-meter diameter explosion.
Fight dragons. Okay.
Or force 24 spirits.
Don't fight that. That's horrible. You won't be able to kill it.
Run. You can't run.
You can't run.
Except
death and kill yourself before it kills you.
Okay, so that's the range. What is next when casting a spell? What else is?
Well, I like to think about the type of damage. Is it stun or physical? What do I want to knock this person out, or do I want to kill them? Because if you're trying to keep someone hostage, don't fry their brains out and kill them. That's bad. I've seen this happen done before.
also consider, is it direct or indirect?
Well, yeah, that's what I was coming to next.
How does it work, Bluey?
But how does it work?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, as we were saying, indirect, channeled over the mana, the astral plane.
You look at someone sternly and they get really
Indirect
tired.
is in the physical plane.
Yeah. So direct is across the astral plane. They don't get a chance to dodge because they don't know what's going on. They just have to resist it as you slowly give them necrosis and cancer and fry them.
Or
like
they
a
feel
microwave.
really sleepy because it's stun.
Yeah, or the stun one, which is less. This is boring. I just want to kill everyone.
Boring. Why can't I necrotose
Why
their
can't I
insides?
just lightning them?
But Bluey, what is the benefit besides it not also being flashy?
It goes
No
through
armor.
armor.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Way to run it, Tom!
Yeah, no armor.
Shut up, Tom!
And you can also attack spirits and stuff in the astral
Yes,
plane.
very important actually.
And you can attack dual nature beings in the astral plane, you know, and you can do some
Oh god, they don't even know what hit them. They get necrosis.
That
and
sounds
it's
so
okay.
good. Why would I ever cast a fireball?
Because it's so much damage. Because not only... Because it's forced to damage, or you declare a force. I'll talk about force first.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say the simplified version of it is that it doesn't have a base damage. It only has hits to damage.
Direct spells only get net hits to damage.
Yeah, no, so yeah, basically they resist with their willpower. You roll your magic check. It's limited at your force, we'll cover that.
Yeah,
so
force basically sets the limit.
You've got 6. You get 6 hits, so now they use their willpower and negate the hits of 6 that they rolled with their willpower.
No, they only roll 3 dice. They got no hits.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
Yeah, so you just got 6 damage.
Yeah, which is like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then you just are like, oh, I'm casting Fireball at force 6. And what's the damage of that, Tom?
It's just basically the force, like you were saying before, that you
I haven't
say.
covered force yet.
Yeah, cover force now.
Yeah, we'll do that. So basically, you can cast a spell up to twice your magic and force. Now, you don't want to always do that.
You can go below.
Yeah.
You can also go below. Important distinction.
Now, I'll tell you why you don't
force
do
12
this.
all day,
Because
every day.
if you cast a spell above your rating in magic, you start taking physical damages drain.
It's actually not that.
No?
It is when you get a number of hits above your magic rating. But the only time you ever get a number of hits is when your limit, which is your force, is higher than your magic.
Yes.
Well, I mean...
It's basically that.
Yeah, but you simplify it.
Basically
You simplify.
the same.
I've always simplified it, okay? Like that. And then...
Listen to teacher!
Yeah. And then,
Why you always question sensei?
and then your magic, if you cast below your magic rating, it's just stun damage, and it's normally a lot less because you're getting less hits.
Yeah, equal to or less.
Yeah, equal to or less.
But you're not killing yourself to do it. Personally, I love having a good brain aneurysm when I cast my
Oh
spells.
yeah, I love Force 12ing area
Force
spells.
12. Force 12 will go home.
Force 12 heal.
All that stun damage, I just... Wait,
Yeah,
what?
I just dealt more damage than you healed because you decided to do Force 12. I may have closed that bullet wound that I got from a pistol, but instead I've given myself a brain aneurysm.
And I can't heal that because it's drain damage.
Yeah, drain you cannot heal from magical means.
From magical means.
Yes.
And then we'll get to indirect spells. Okay, you declare your force. So let's say I do a force 6 fireball.
Let's do
straight
Force
away.
12. Because go.
Okay, let's go force 12. Okay, force 12 fireball. This isn't the area version. This is the just single target.
Flamethrower.
Yeah, flamethrower's the area.
Napalm.
Wait, no, I know fireball. Is that the area one?
Fireball's area.
Okay, we'll do the area spell. Okay, force 12. Immediately, it has a 12-meter radius, so 24-meter diameter. That is ginormous.
That's huge.
That's bigger than a lot of houses.
Yes.
Base 12 damage.
Yeah, so it starts with base 12 damage and AP minus 12 equal to the force you just cast. Now people have to roll their dodge checks.
Yeah.
You get so let's say you were a real mean bastard and you got that 12 hits as well.
Yeah.
24.
Somehow you defied
So
statistics.
you've got 24 damage, AP minus 12.
Yeah, so now but the thing is the people that dodge, they negate from those 12 hits with their dodge check. So let's say people rolled 4 hits in their dodge check.
Stop me
I got
from
8 hits in
alive.
total. So those 8 hits get added on to those already 12 and damage. So I've just done 20 damage, AP minus 12.
But they do get to roll their armor, but a minus 12 armor is going to knock out pretty much everyone's
Yeah,
armor.
Yeah, most armor.
Yeah, minus 12 is ginormous.
Anyone but the most healthy of soak
But
tanks.
then after that resolves, you need to take 11 damage.
Yeah,
Yes.
because of it's force
Yeah.
minus 1.
So,
Now,
yeah.
I'm rolling my PC 11 dice to resist all physical damage.
Bluey, what is drain, and how do we figure out and calculate drain? Because we're math nerds.
Well, it's to do in tradition. Let's say I was being a dirty shamanic caster with 8 charisma, and I have 5 willpower. Okay, so now 8 charisma plus my willpower, 5, 13 dice. That's what I'm using to roll to resist. The amount of hits I get is how much I resist the force. Spells have designated drain values that I'll tell you.
Here's a fireball. This is what we have cast. If we got 4 hits on that check, we're only going to take 7 physical damage to the face.
Which means we survive with some minor brain damage.
Isn't it you know
Dane
roll,
damage?
Dane what?
I got Dane damage, it's fine.
Isn't it you always resist the spell the force you declared because you're putting that effort in?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter how many hits you get, you always
But your
resist.
hits, if your hits don't go, or even if you cast a force 12, if your hits do not go over your magic score, it's stunned.
So that's
Yeah.
how that's how.
But most of the time, people initialize that shit and they get like.
no, you go crazy. You use your yes. No, I die.
What are you, Denzel?
Oh yeah. No,
Right.
If he played mages, he'd be terrifying.
So I get that's kind of the rules around magic. We
haven't talked about magic the durations.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So there's instantaneous, which is damage. Sustain, which is you concentrate.
It's in the back of your mind kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, you take a -2 to every action apart from resistance
It
checks.
distracts you. Yeah. -2.
Because you have to concentrate on it.
Yeah.
It's like doing solitaire while also having to shoot
And
some guy.
Permanent is the spell's permanent. This is only really healing spell. I think.
Yeah. It's few and far between.
Yeah, and let me actually double check because I should check this now
Yeah.
because I'm an idiot and
That's
I always
fine.
forget.
Well, what can we? While he's doing that, we'll cover the. There's different categories of magic as well, and these are what you specialize in if you decide to specialize. So of course you've got.
I mean, if we want to do a quick one, we can just talk about qualities while he looks up what he needs to look up, because qualities are pretty quick though.
You need to sustain the spell for forced combat turns before it casts.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So if you're doing a force 12 healing spell, you have to sit there for 12 rounds.
Yes, don't
Well,
heal.
you have to just
don't
sustain
heal
it.
in combat.
You just have to sustain it, so you're getting -2. So
Bad idea. Don't heal in combat.
Yeah, do it after.
The shit's for afterwards.
They put slap patches on and stuff, okay, to keep themselves
This
off.
is what we have trauma patches for and drugs for.
Yeah.
Alright, I mean, I think that's everything else actually on how to cast a spell. I guess we'll look at some spells.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll cover the categories, I guess. So you've got your combat spells, your detection spells,
Manipulation, illusion,
And health.
and
That's
health.
it.
Yep.
We're so
There's
good.
5
Between the
control.
3 of us, we could remember all of the categories.
3 people to remember 5 things. Yes.
Yes. Truly, the peak of human evolution.
I guess we'll talk about combat and we'll just point out some cool spells and
Alright.
some shit
Acid
spells.
stream.
Oh, okay, Acid Stream is one of the first ones, so you can talk about that.
Well, we can go through the whole thing. Just one of the
Yeah,
favourites.
just one favorite for each
Yeah,
category. All right.
Punch. And if I can only choose one, I'm choosing punch because punch is force -6.
Okay, and go.
It's an indirect spell and it's a physical spell. Basically, you're punching people with force, but because it's at -6. You can force 6 or force 12 that all day, every day, because you only have to serve against 6 damage.
Oh wait, but I have to give you a quick rule. No matter how much you negate drain, you have to take a minimum.
Yeah,
of 2.
there is a minimum of 2 drain.
Yeah.
But like, you
Yeah.
can. with like punch being at minus like force -6, you can just cast it at like large levels. So even at 8, it's like, oh, I'm resisting 2 drain, but that's still like 8 damage and AP -8, which is still amazing.
Very powerful. Yes.
Yeah, punch is just hilarious to me, but only because I'll have to explain that later on when we get to gear. Exactly why that's funny to me.
Well, my favorite combat spell is Ball Lightning. It's similar to the Fireball, except, yeah, exactly the same
Except
Fireball in every other way. The secondary effect of it, though, isn't it? It drops everyone's initiative, and as we were saying with Lightning, and then it gives
If
them
they take
negative. Yeah.
If they take damage.
Yeah, if they take the damage, and then they also get negatives to all their checks afterwards.
Yeah, so even if they
amazing.
even if they save against all the damage, so long as they have taken 1 point of like physical or stun damage, they then suffer a -5 to initiative, -1 to all their actions.
Yeah. Just because the name's awesome, I like one less.
With 1 less.
You pick a meta type.
Oh.
and it's a way reduced mana bolt. It's like force -6 or 5, and it only kills like elves.
That's so funny. Yeah, you do it in an area as well. You get an area version.
I think it's called Slay.
What's my spell?
No, it's called Slaughter or something.
Yeah, Slaughter. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
What's my spell called? Literally Hitler.
Yeah, I've got my spell. Yeah, no, that's actually a trap option. I've never taken it. I just love the idea of like some guy's so obsessed with murdering elves. He makes a spell just for doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, Humanity Polis would definitely take those.
Polis, whatever. I don't know how I keep forgetting. I think it's Humanus Polis, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
Humanus Polyclub, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Alright, then we got detection spells.
Detection.
Alright, so I'm just going to say this right here with detection spells. They have their own little chart that talks about their results on their net hits. 1, 2, 3, 4 net hits, depends on how good it is. And I'll chuck that up here. And also, you don't resist. Yeah, you do resist detection spells with willpower plus logic. Because most spells,
depending on the spell, of course.
It's detection. It's always willpower plus logic.
Yeah, it's depending on the spell. Though.
Yeah, I'm going to say it for each
like,
spell.
not all spells need people to resist.
Yeah, but when you do have a resistance check, I guess I'll say my favourite here. Unless Declan wants to say something.
I was just going to say, what if I choose to resist?
Choose to. Yeah, well then you roll willpower plus logic.
Sorry, I just need to make
It's
sure.
willpower plus logic.
I'm just making sure that we're in the detection section because I wasn't sure that this was part of the detection.
Oh yeah,
it is.
We'll be talking about that one right now, and while I like it, it's kind of horrible as well. Mind probe.
Oh.
This is the bane of DMs that are doing investigatory missions.
It used to be worse when you didn't read that it was touch and we're doing it at distances.
No, I always did it touch.
No,
It is a touch spell.
We weren't doing it at sustained. We were doing it. You just got all the information.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, guys.
No, trust me.
When you first did it, you did it as ranged.
Alright, so its duration is sustained and it's touch.
Yeah.
But it's got quite a high drain for a spell. Its force is equal to your force. Its
Yeah,
drain
because
is
you're
equal to
ripping
your
through
force.
someone's minds and memories
Yeah.
and emotions.
Let Tom give a bit of flavour behind it if he wishes.
No, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
You'll hate me. So basically, depending on the net hits you get, depending what you get, but I like it when people get 5+, because you get to know their deepest, darkest memories and their subconscious, and you know more than they do about themselves.
Yeah, no,
it's pretty fucked up.
No subconscious receipt, like, what's the word? They've been
Fears.
on recessed?
Yeah, repressed memories.
Repressed.
Not recessed memories.
I don't know.
My memory's having a recession!
I'm so retarded, don't worry. You know, you get to find out repressed memories.
Louis, what's your favourite one?
Mine is detect enemies. It's in the extended version, of course. You can get the extended or normal version. The normal version is force times 2 meters, I think, in radius when you do it. Oh, we can
force times force, and extended is force times 10.
Yeah, force times 10, that's right.
It's crazy.
So it's huge. Detect enemies is very handy to come up when you're trying to scope out an area and you're behind enemy lines. So you get, it's a sustained spell. Basically, I envision it to overlay the area, and anyone who's an enemy will have like a kind of a ready kind of cloud covering them. So, like, have you ever played Oblivion, the detect life spell?
Yeah.
Imagine it like that, but I imagine it red so I can discern the differences.
Yeah, it's basically anyone who wants to try to kill you.
Yeah, anyone with hostile intent towards you.
Yeah. Alright, Declan, your favourite spell in there? You don't have one?
Yeah.
No, it's hard to choose.
Yeah.
There's one.
Is Mind Net in the Street Grimoire?
Yes,
so
Mind Net's amazing.
Yeah, no, Mind Net actually isn't here. There's
it's Street Grimoire.
Yeah, it's Mind Net is amazing though. it was so hard for me to choose because there are so many spells I like in here. Like clairvoyancy is a lot of fun.
Combat sense, awesome.
Combat sense is great, and analyze device. But out of all of them, mind net hands down is amazing. It's like, hey, let's have a magical attack net.
Yeah.
I want to feel your emotions, Bluey.
Yeah, I can
share with me your emotions.
Share with me your dreams and what you see.
Share with me your aspirations.
Yeah, and it's got a huge drain. It's force +1.
Yes, but it's amazing.
Yeah, and of course that's also a sustained spell.
Because with like mind net, can't you even see kind of what they're seeing?
Yeah, no, they can choose.
Yeah.
They can choose to share their senses with you.
Mind Link allows the magician and one voluntary subject to communicate mentally, exchanging conversation, emotions, and mental images. Yep, and you only need one hit, so you do it on relatively low force.
But of course, there's also like a range that you can't leave for it to work. But Mind Net is the area version of Mind Link,
which is great because when you do jobs where you can't risk having any sort of electronics on, you need to use Mind Net.
All right, next is health spells.
So you can go first, Obo.
No, you can go first because I want to hear Tom's one because I love listening to when Tom talks about his favorite health spell.
That's my favorite. Oh, do you want me to do my favorite?
Yeah, you do your
favorite. It's decrease attribute.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that. I don't want to take it away.
It's like, willpower's numb now. Yeah, like the decrease attribute. You pick an attribute normally people have of. Willpower's a pretty big one.
Willpower's usually just a 3.
And you just basically the number of net hits that you get against their what do people reduce with health? I can't remember.
I think it's willpower and
some health spells.
Bluey, you're super apathetic now. I'm taking your willpower away. I don't really feel like fighting for my life.
Maybe it says it in here. Oh, it's opposed by the targeted attribute plus willpower.
Oh no.
So if you're targeting willpower, it's like plus 6 dice against my 12.
Yeah.
3 hits, dead.
Yeah. Oh, you're not dead. You become incapacitated.
Until I stop sustaining this.
Yeah.
No, you become so pathetic. I don't even want to fight to save my life.
It doesn't happen. Once that any attribute is decreased to 0, depending on if it's physical or mental, you either become brain dead or your body just falls over and cannot move.
Yeah, one or two.
Yeah.
And being brain dead's better because mages can still cast spells when they can't move.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
My favourite, I guess, I'll just pick out the obvious one, heal. It's almost always necessary for the mage to take this.
Yeah, pretty much every mage takes heal.
You almost need. It's just so useful.
The thing is like in D&D you need to become a cleric or a certain character to heal. But in this, just anyone can heal. Well, combat mage can heal. Anyone can.
My one is actually from another book.
Okay.
Well, you can say it.
What's yours?
I believe this is a heal spell because I believe that's what it comes under. I believe Hawkeye.
Yeah.
You just give people extra perception and you essentially get the Hawkeye quality, but you can see more. And also combat sense is just fucking amazing.
Combat sense is detection.
So that's detection. But yeah, like improved reflexes can be really good, but ultimately I just love Hawkeye because it's like when mages are based on most of their spells are based on line of sight, so when you can just be like, I see everything.
Yeah. I see you from that block away.
Yeah. Or even it's just like, oh hey look, my gunner needs to see someone.
Yeah. See
better.
It's pretty amazing.
It's just really good. This means the team is very perceptive.
Alright, what's next?
Illusions!
Spells.
Bluey, what's yours?
This is really hard. There's quite a few. I mean, there's... it's so dirty.
It's invisibility.
Yeah, it's improved. Yeah, I grew up.
Say it!
I was born and raised on improved invisibility.
I was born to it. Molded by it.
Molded by it. Yeah.
Yeah, dying all the time because you realise that invisibility is
Yeah, I died all the time. This is the reason I've died all the time, because invisibility is countered quite simply. And DMs will have to counter it if you keep abusing it.
Anyone's got good scent, you know that they're there. Anyone,
or even hearing.
Mages.
Ultrasound, Ultrasound.
Ultrasound is a big one.
Yeah, and just plain astral perception.
Actually, it's really funny because, like, the more stuff you have on you and the more folky and the more, like, the more spells you have cast on you, the brighter you are in the astral and the easier it is to see because you glow like a beacon.
And just...
like,
yeah.
You got a force 12 invisibility for whatever reason on you, and you just are like, I'm sustaining this. You got the brightest beacon in the astral.
Yeah.
You're like Christmas.
One that I don't see much, but is always incredibly effective when it does happen, is Truth Phantasm.
Oh yeah, that's like the good illusion, isn't it?
It's the illusion one.
Yeah.
So there's Tread Entertainment and Tread Phantasm. Tread Phantasm is making realistic illusions. Tread Entertainment is for entertaining people.
Yep.
Yes.
I think that's only in there for like I don't know,
But
flavor.
you
reasons,
can take
yeah.
it.
Oh, it's so hard.
Chaotic World, man.
Chaotic World
Opium
is...
Den.
No, Chaotic...
They're basically the
You're
same
making it
style.
harder for me.
Yeah, I know.
Opium Den is hilarious, but I love Chaotic World. But there are so many other good ones that are
Yeah,
just...
so that one just is just net. Each hit that you get, everyone takes a minus in that area equal to the hits that you got.
No man, Mass Agony, Force 12 all day, every day.
So yeah, Mass Agony is net hits it's net hits fake damage.
Yeah.
It's a sustained damage spell, yeah.
Swarm.
Yeah, Swarm's pretty cool. Each net hit you get, they reduce their initiative by 2.
Yes,
Have
very
you seen
good.
your favourite? No, Tread Phantasm, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one.
Next one is manipulation.
Oh, my favourite.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Bluey, is this it?
Oh, don't make me say it.
Mob control.
Say it.
Mob control.
When you point to the crowd, you're like, kill yourself.
You see,
I did that so much. It was overpowered. I would walk up to a crowd of people who had guns in their hands. It would either be kill your friends or kill yourself. It's
Oh my
ridiculous.
Because like in D&D, mind control spells have so many like restrictions to them. But
This one-
I know yours, Declan. It's Fling.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, Fling is fucking amazing. It's just like the one spell all mages should have.
I've been taking because the thing is I don't know how to attack this person. Oh wait, I can just fling that pot plant into his head. That's so powerful.
No, actually, my favourite one is I don't know how to throw grenades.
Yeah, I know, grenades and all that.
I fling them instead.
My current character that I play flings tomahawks that are enchanted with mana bolt,
Yes.
so that it ignores
no.
armor when it hits them. It goes. Doosh!
Plus, fling is just like anything. It's like
Yeah.
you can just throw anything. You can throw dead bodies with fling. It's great.
It
But,
doesn't even have to be something that
You can
touch
fling
them, does it?
you can fling the gun out of their hand.
No, it's line of sight. You can fling anything to
Yeah,
weapon.
if it's in
Yeah.
their hand, like a gun.
I'm gonna fling a
fling it
car.
out.
You can fling
I
fling
think-
a gun out of
I
there.
don't know
It's
what
resistant
Thomas's one
strength.
is.
Okay, well, what is mine? Tell me.
I think.
Which yours is your favorite?
Crap, I saw it. But I forgot. What is it? I think it's this one.
What is it? Influence.
Yeah.
While I like it, I like Levitate. It's just really
Yeah, no, Levitate's good.
it's just so good because it can lift like a ton pretty easily.
Yeah, no, it's.
So you can lift cars.
I think we all have to agree though.
physical barrier.
I love that.
Yeah,
You
so
can
say
just-
it.
Oh, look at that car over there! Whoa!
Oh, they're gonna run us down! They're fucking running us down with the car! Physical barrier!
There used to be, I don't know if they still have it in here, but there used to be elemental wall.
Yeah.
Is this still
They're
there?
in Street Room 1.
So yeah, you just
Yeah.
summon like
Walls
a
of
wall
fire.
or like a wall of rock.
Wall
It's
of
like,
ice. Yeah. That's the thing. If we all had a second choice for what we could take in this group, it would be physical barrier.
I take it a lot these days.
Yeah.
Let's start. I think we have to start closing it off. I don't know how much.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of areas.
Yeah. So spirits,
Qualities.
gear like qualities
gear.
are like
qualities, gear, and we won't do spirits.
yeah.
'Cause
Spirits are a big area.
Spirits are very specific to tradition
Yeah.
as well.
Let's do. We'll start with gear. Bluey, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so folky, you can get sustaining, you can get power, you can get I forget the other ones, but they're the main two that I can think of right now.
Bluey, what do all those things do? What's a power folky?
A power folky. All right, so I guess we're covering gear now because we've covered basically everything
Yes,
else.
we're
Yeah.
covering gear, and nothing has gone wrong.
Much.
No jump cuts anywhere.
None.
All right, so
Stop ruining my immersion. What's a power folky?
a power folky is a type of folky which, with its force, that you have to bind in karma.
What's a folky?
Yeah,
What the fuck
a
is a
folky
folky?
is a magical item that is normally made by an artificer by binding spirits or other magical stuff to it.
Yeah.
And this costs karma and
That
money.
was
to
very
do.
comprehensive. I'm amazed.
I'm very articulate.
I didn't even know what a folky was. I just knew it helped you do magic better. Didn't
Yeah.
actually know how it was made.
Yeah.
I thought I just dragged the bones of old Jim and then just enchanted them and waved them around like, yeah, I'm more magic now. I killed my friend.
Yeah. Power folky are pretty much the most expensive. They cost money and karma depending on their rating, per rating, to bind and
And
you know.
power folky are expensive as all hell.
Because you know why? For each force, it adds to your current magic when you cast through it. You can cast force 7 without taking physical. It's incredible. If you were like a force 6 mage and you have a force 6 folky, you can do force 12 by taking
Does that
stun.
mean I can do force 24?
You could do force 18.
Yeah, that's the one.
You can do Force 18. It's ridiculous.
That's right, because it doesn't.
The other foci just add bonuses to whatever it's doing. So you take foci for specific spells. Sustaining foci just sustain spells for you.
Equal to its force.
And it has to be for a certain spell skill.
Yeah, no, you have to have that foci specialised for that.
They're so much cheaper and it costs way less karma. And there's also weapon foci, which are more for adepts, which we'll cover in there.
Power foci are good because they affect almost everything you do with magic. Like if you're using flux or stuff like that from your initiate grades, or from it's still initiates when you're a mage. Yeah, you still initiate. Yeah. It adds when you use flux, or when you try and break through barriers. From what I understand, like mana barriers.
Yeah.
So it's really good because it just adds to anything magical, basically.
Yeah.
It's magical steroids.
There was thing about fetishes, which we just looked up earlier.
Leather.
Yeah, you have to make up the fetish is something that is made by an alchemist, I believe. Actually, used drams to do it. Or it could be an artificer actually, and
artificers and alchemists are the same.
Drams are measurement.
Yeah, true. Drams are a measurement of reagents, which we didn't really talk about.
We're in the gear section.
Yeah, we're in the gear section. Basically, you have to learn the spell twice, which is the only thing. You learn the spell twice, then you learn the second time you learn it for the fetish. And the fetish will reduce its drain by 2.
From what I understand, you don't have to learn it once.
No, I read the section. You have to learn the spell twice.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But
regardless, it makes the drain value 2 less.
It's really, really good for low, like punch, for instance.
Yes, if I were to say, this is why punch is my favourite one. Because if I were to say get a fetish, which would say boxing gloves, and then have them specifically for punch,
which is force -6 originally.
Yeah, which is originally force.
Now.
Yeah, it's force -8, so I can cast at force 12, and it's only 4 drain. Yeah, so 6 damage.
You can reckless cast that stuff. Like,
yeah, imagine that. You're a mage, and you just like wearing boxing gloves.
Yeah, and you're just like, it's warming up.
Yeah, and then like the guy's like, you look like a wimp because you got 2 strength.
Yeah, you're like 2 strength, 2 body, whatever.
And then you just throw your punch, and when you throw your punch, you force 12, and then or if you're really cool, force 14 because you got 7 magic because you're a cool kid.
Oh my god.
Then it's just I'm saving against either 4 drain or 6 drain.
Yeah.
And the spell's value is either 12 or 14 with an AP minus of 12 or 14.
The thing I should just quickly add in, reckless casting means that because all spells when you cast them are a complex action, takes up the entire round. Reckless casting makes a spell a simple action, meaning you can do it twice, but it adds 3 to the drain.
Yeah.
And so it's really good you do. I just wanted to add that in.
Reckless cast fling all day, every day with grenades.
Right. Let's talk about some reagents, shall we?
Right.
Reagents are money that you feed to spirits to make them happy.
Or alchemy. Or spells.
Yes.
Magic is fueled by one thing and one thing alone. You may think it is your life force, and some say it is perhaps the life force of the capitalist society. That's right, it's money.
You can find them.
Magic
yeah,
is
you can search for
alchemy checks, my friends.
Fuck yeah.
Find them for free.
Find that shit for free. Good, yeah.
They're not that expensive anyway. They're like $20 per dram.
Yeah, it's only 20.
$20 per dram for reagents. Magic runs on money.
So what it actually does, other than make you lose money, is it sets your limit for the spell. So using 1 dram, how many drams you use is how much the limit of the spell is. So you can
I use 50 drams.
Usually, actually, you're using drams to lower the limit.
Yes.
I find you're never using it to raise the limit.
What I like, they're good for certain area spells, not direct ones. Sadly.
Well, yeah, casting an area spell at a low force and then using drams to up it so that you can, casting a low force so you don't hit your friends, using drams so that you can hit the people hard.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Basically, smaller area, harder hits.
When you're doing a lot of alchemy, like my current character does, he goes, okay, I'm going to do a mana bolt on this thing. I don't want to take a lot of drain because over time I'll accumulate all this drain from doing it a lot of times. So I go, okay, I want to force 6, but I'm going to cast it force 1. But it's okay because I put 6 reagents at it. I'm not limited to getting 1 hit because force limits the hits you can get on the spell.
Yeah.
The reagents become the new limit. So I go, okay, I'm going to take the drain because of force 1 spell.
So 2.
Yeah. So 2, which is minimum all the time.
Minimum 2 drain. Important thing to remember.
Definitely.
Also, your value pools don't change or anything. Force does not dictate how many dice you roll. It's always a static amount.
Spellcasting is magic plus spellcasting rate.
Yeah.
Always, not force plus spellcasting, which some people get confused with.
Yeah, it's an important distinction to remember. We'll have flowcharts and sheets. See me after class.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much else to really cover under gear for the most part.
There was initiating, which we haven't covered though.
Initiating we'll just cover quickly, I think.
Very
There's no point in
quickly.
explaining it.
Basically, do you want to be a cooler mage? Do you want higher magic? Do you want to go mad with power and try and summon demons? Maybe initiating is for you. Tell them what it is, Josh.
Initiating is basically you, depending on your tradition, going through a set of challenges for about a month, which then allows you to acquire your
Well, actually, it's a month.
It's a month per.
It's an
initiative
It's an extended test.
it's
but
an
I'll
extended
just
test
make
of
it
a
Oh, yeah,
month.
okay, we homebrewed it as a month then, yeah.
because it was too much time.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, actually, technically, there are different ways to handle it. If you do the normal one, which is like it's months, but if you do ordeals, once the ordeal is complete, then
Yeah.
it's done.
This is why these days I want to do missions for initiation.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
cool,
do it anyway.
it's
It's
cool.
fun. I hunted magical creatures.
And basically, you get to choose from a list of a meta magic, and each time you initiate, the amount of magics you already have will increase by one, and you get to choose another one, and they accumulate.
So,
like-
Bluey, why is quickening fucking OP?
Quickening allows you to sustain a spell permanently without thinking about it, except it's not that OP, because if you walk through a mana barrier, it gets blown up and
I know.
it's gone.
But still, if you're being careful and you're an elf who has 8 charisma and then also has increased attribute charisma and then cast it on themselves and then permanent, I now have 12 charisma.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yes.
It's a meta magic. And also, when you initiate, it raises your maximum limit of magic
Yeah.
by 1. So, yeah. So it allows you to level
And there
up.
are some cool mana magics that are based on how many initiate grades you have,
Yeah.
such as cleansing, I think it
Yeah,
is.
it's in the main book and there's a bunch
Yeah,
of really
check
cool.
it out.
There are way too many for us to cover.
Yeah,
it
too
would
much.
take way
Yeah,
too
also
long.
this is mainly meant for character creation stuff, and this is you can only initiate afterwards.
Yeah,
You
only
can
afterwards.
talk to your GM for primer things, or your GM may allow you to do it. For my online games, no initiation at the start.
Yeah, but generally when we come in the midst of campaigns, you don't care.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, is there
Variables are key.
Well, I guess we can talk about some general tips.
general tips? Have we covered them throughout the?
I think we've covered everything.
Don't
We
try
haven't
to find...
we haven't talked about spirits because it's really extensive. I think we might do a
That
separate
is-
video for
That'd be
it.
a whole video on its own. Yeah.
I don't think we should talk under another view on spirits, I'll be honest. Spirits are very specific to the traditions they're in. That's the thing. Each tradition determines what
Yeah,
spirits are
well,
good at
no,
what.
I'm talking about the mechanically. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
talking
what-
about what spirits you should take. This is why we're not talking about it. We'll do a separate video on spirits and maybe more deeply into the astral realm because there's a lot to it. And spirits are very crunchy. There's a reason that a lot of people don't even bother with summoning because it can be a little bit annoying. So
It's actually rather simple though.
Yeah.
it can't. Yeah, but there's a lot to write down. and
It's
stuff like
it's
that.
fluff.
Yeah. Welcome to Fluffville, in a poorly edited book.
Yeah. All right.
Can't please
I think
hire.
that's everything, right, guys?
I only really just want to add like qualities, to be honest. Qualities.
Yeah, let's talk about
There's
some
only
qualities.
there's a couple
mages.
that I can think of.
Witness My Hate, which has the coolest name ever.
Yeah. Witness
Go on.
my hate. What to do?
Witness My Hate gives a +2 base damage to direct spells, which they didn't have before. So all direct spells will then have a base damage of 2.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
But it
Four.
also increases the drain by 2.
Yeah, it increases the drain by 2, but essentially it's giving you 2 net
But
hits.
if you had that on punch, whatever.
yeah,
Punches it.
punches indirect,
Oh damn. Okay.
which is hilarious.
You can get a punch version of like that. I think it's called Death Touch.
Clout.
yeah,
Death Clout is the
Clout's the area
the-
effect one.
Yeah.
No.
For
Okay.
sure. But no, 7 karma, very good. Focus concentration.
Yeah, I was going to say that focus concentration is 2 karma, I believe, or 4 karma per level. Basically, each level allows you. It acts like a sustaining focus for anything.
Yeah.
So
Very good.
Yeah, so for each level, 4 karma, so that's force 1s, and then 8, force 2, etc., etc.
Quick healer.
Quick healer,
Because you want to be able to sleep off your
Drains.
stun,
Yeah.
your drain damage really quickly. Healing, also I believe it's just whenever you cast, like, it's also whenever you try to heal yourself with like healing magic as well. It's actually very effective.
You roll, anyone who's healing you or rolling any test to heal you rolls +2 dice.
and then
Yeah.
and then there's
Exceptional attribute.
yes, you can do that on magic.
Either
So
magic.
tribute magic or your tradition stat.
Magic is if you're a baller and want to kill yourself.
Yeah, that's the thing. Getting higher magic means you're going to be taking higher drain.
Yes. It's for... It is only for the most foolhardy, meaning me and Bluey, because we like to do those sorts of
I
things.
love risky mages.
Gotta risk it for that biscuit. But, there were a couple of other ones.
Hawkeye, yeah, I remember seeing this interaction not so long ago, and I was like, hey guys, can I do this? And we're like, my god.
Well, yeah, because Hawkeye is like, you remove one modifier from, like one vision modifier, or it's like one less.
Yeah.
So if it was like, say if you were in a storm, it would instead be rain, or if it was rain, you would treat it as if there wasn't any rain. It just steps down.
Also, it says ambiguously you can see any distance.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
it's very like...
That's just fucked.
The flavor was like, you could stand on a skyscraper and define a penny on the ground type thing.
Yeah. Basically,
That's not okay.
Yeah.
but you don't get it, because it's the natural version of like vision magnification and stuff.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, technically, while it's crazy, it's technically not as good as, like, buying those vision mags, because you can get extra dice to perception, whereas you can't do that
with
once you have it.
With Hawkeye, you can't get any other extra vision.
Don't need a scope, though!
Yeah, you can't get cyber eyes, of course, with it. You can't...
Bad.
You can't upgrade your eyes in any way.
No, your eyes are perfect. You were born and blessed with the most perfect eyes ever.
Superhuman.
Yes, in fact.
And then there's bad qualities, which I suggest not getting for a mage, such as insomnia.
Bad idea.
You need that edge.
And healing a stun.
Yes, that too. And Astral Chameleon. You don't want that anymore. It means you... Oh, no, not Astral Chameleon, sorry. There's the opposite, Astral Beacon.
I know, Astral Beacon's funny as fuck.
You get seen more in the Astral plane.
You are a Christmas tree, and your signature lasts longer.
Astral Chameleon being the opposite is quite useful.
Yeah, also Spirit Affinity and Spirit Champion. There are a few good spirit ones that basically...
there's pretty much majority spirit ones for magic.
Yeah, most of the magic ones are spirit ones, but there are two specifically really good ones.
Mentor
one which
spirit.
gives extra how could we forget Mentor Spirits? Bluey, tell us why I fucking hate Mentor Spirits.
Basically, you have that one spirit who just...
Two, actually.
Is two?
Yeah, the Raven Spirit.
I'm not going to go through them right now. I'm going to tell you the quality. The quality is a spirit that basically is bound to you and will follow you everywhere.
It doesn't do anything.
It gives you bonuses.
Yes, it does.
No, I'm saying it's not a spirit. It is a spirit meant... It's not going to help you in combat.
No, it doesn't help you.
You become a schizophrenic and start hearing voices.
Yeah, no, they just talk to you and coach you through stuff. So certain spirits give bonuses to certain skills and magic, casting certain magic,
yeah.
The seducer just tells you to do drugs.
Yeah, and then they also come with some kind of negative to balance them out.
Well, composure checks, which most mages can make off the back of their no sweat.
Raven is a very bad one because he makes you play pranks on your party.
Raven is actually the lesser version of Chaos.
Chaos is worse.
Chaos is actually worse. You know what it is?
What?
It can be. It's like this. Say one of us is Chaos healer. It's like Tom. We're just sitting here doing our video. Chaos would make Tom either punch me in the face or fucking flip the camera.
Make the situation worse. Basically, you get the over-exacerbator.
Yeah. You just make shit worse.
You don't have to punch people.
That's funny.
It's changed up the situation.
That's really
but it's
funny.
not a prank. You could just start a fight. You could be an asshole basically.
Yeah, essentially you're not is the situation too quiet or is the situation quiet? Fuck that shit
Just
up.
light a fire on the table.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you create chaos.
Yep.
You're at a high restaurant.
That's so
You're
funny.
meeting a Johnson. You have to behave. Fuck behaving. I'm gonna just be the most ill-mannered cunt and start some chaos. Maybe I'll start a fight with a waiter.
Do it.
Chaos is a dick.
It's pretty funny.
I hate
Alright,
Chaos
so
and Raven.
that's mental spirits, and I think that's the
Qualities
qualities
covered. We've covered pretty much almost everything.
Just remember, kids, Force 12 will go home.
I mean, if you didn't find the video comprehensive enough and you're on our Facebook page, of course you could...
or on our YouTube page where you're watching this.
Well, you can comment, yeah.
Yeah, you can comment on the video or find us on Facebook and like our page. I guess Tom can leave a link when he edits
Yeah,
this.
I usually leave links to the groups.
And and tell us what you liked and didn't like and any other suggestions. But
But don't tell us how to do our jobs, because we don't tell you how to be a mage. Because if we did, that'd be fascism.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, have fun with being a mage. Be as flavorful and useless as you want.
Exactly.
I like that. Be as flavorful. You can be flavorful and not useless, by the way.
Shut up, Tom.
No, shut up. Let me play my druid who only has 3 intuition.
You can. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna warn you.
I want to click an opium den on myself.
Yeah. Sustained opium den.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for watching Something About Tabletop. Good night.
It's an area